there needs to be a kickout flashing right there to get that water into the gutter. See, we want to get that water into the gutter. Kickout flashings are misunderstood by almost everyone. They are required by code, but most roofers, builders, and building inspectors have no idea what they are. They are seldom used, almost always installed incorrectly, and are often destroyed by the trades which follow the roofer. A properly installed $5 kickout flashing could have prevented all of this very expensive damage. The water hits here. This is all rotted out. There's a hole here the size of my fist.
Out there, so I was toenail them into the trim boards there.
A kickout flashing right here would have caused the water that's running down the roof to be deflected into the gutter. In other words, a diverter right here. But they didn't do that. I guess they just hoped the water would run here and run off. You can see the brick stain. There's no question it got behind the brick. But this has rotted this out, so the water is coming in, it's getting underneath this board. And it's running that way, and you can see it's rotted out the other side. We've got birds' nests, squirrels' nests. So everybody forgets that we put cladding on our houses, not only to keep water out, but to keep insects and bees and squirrels out. This is just a disaster. You can do everything else right and leave out a $5 kickout flashing and do all this damage. First of all, just a terrible design. I mean, what was the architect thinking? Look, all water wants to do is get back to the ground. Don't stop it. A kickout flashing is needed whenever a roof plane intersecting a wall terminates in the middle of the wall. The role of the kickout flashing is to divert water running down the edge of a roof away from the wall and into the gutter or over the drip cap if no gutter is present. Right behind there, it's dry. Yeah. And that's the whole point. It's not getting into that siding. Yeah. If the kickout flashing is installed incorrectly or left out altogether, water will flow behind the siding and onto the wall sheathing. The result will usually be rotted walls, corners, or soffits. You can buy pre-made kickout flashings, but one size doesn't fit all, and there aren't a lot of great choices. Most contractors prefer to fabricate kickout flashings in the field. The problem is, everyone has their own technique. Some work, some don't. Inexperienced crew members imitate what they've seen, but usually only get it half right. I strongly recommend that you make a few kickout flashings in the shop or on the ground. It's much easier to make a kickout flashing with the right tools in a warm room with plenty of light than on a cold, steep roof in the rain. To make a kickout flashing, cut a piece of colored step flashing and fold the leading edge under. Make certain that the leading edge will reach a few inches into the gutter. Seal the joint with a quality caulk, then pop rivet or screw the joint together. The bottom of the kickout flashing will be visible to the homeowner, so be sure to use a complementary color. You may want to round the top edge for improved appearance. Keep some kickout flashings handy, a few right hand, a few left hand. The detail crew can install these at the beginning of the job, and the speed crew can add step flashings later as they install the shingles. The kickout flashing should be placed on top of and at the bottom of the starter shingle at the eave of the roof. It's actually the first piece of step flashing for a roof intersecting a wall. Properly installed gutter should terminate at least an inch from the wall, and an effective kickout flashing will divert any water running down the side of the roof a few inches into the gutter. Place the first piece of step flashing directly on top of the kickout flashing and cover both pieces of flashing with the first shingle. A properly installed kickout flashing may provide the single greatest return on investment of any component of a new home. A few dollars spent to install this simple flashing correctly could save thousands of dollars of damage down the road.